Hello people of YouTube and welcome to my kitchen. The recipe I will show you today is one of the most famous brand dishes. Eggs Benedict. Perfectly poached eggs, ham and homemade Hollandaise sauce served on toasted bread. A recipe that will have you drooling over your screen. So let's begin. To make eggs Benedict, we need two recipes. One Hollandaise sauce and the second one is poached egg. We will start first with the Hollandaise sauce because Hollandaise sauce we don't mind if it's at room temperature, but if we make first the poached eggs and they are cold, this is not cool at all. So I have a pot here with boiling water and I will make the classic bain-marie. So I need a bowl on the top of it and we want to make sure that the bowl is not touching the surface of the water because it will burn the eggs. Now, to make Hollandaise sauce, I will make just amount for two people. So I will use few ingredients to make sure that even if you don't succeed to make the Hollandaise sauce the first time, not to start crying. That's why you make exactly what I'm telling you about. Normally in Hollandaise sauce we are not using mustard, but I'm using mustard to make sure that you will succeed with the recipe. The mustard is a sort of stabilizer. Stabilizer is also the egg yolk, so both together will make a better texture for you that you are not professionals. You got it? Now, in my bowl I will add first the mustard, just a little bit. As you can see, it's not even a spoonful. If you lay it down, it's a spoonful, but yeah. And I need some vinegar and some water. As you can see, I just want 1 spoonful of water and 1 spoonful of white wine vinegar. The only thing that's missing from the recipe from the start is what, my friend Lakis? The egg yolks, okay? We need 2 egg yolks in and then we will start whisking straight away. Now, at this point, I will make a very little amount of Hollandaise sauce. And the butter is not hot, it's at room temperature. This is the secret for success for the Hollandaise sauce. If the butter is too hot, then probably your Hollandaise sauce will split, okay? Now, as you can see, I'm whisking all the time. I'm whisking to my bowl here. And I want to have a texture of a foam, okay? Now, it's not ready yet. As you can see, it's still runny. We don't want to be runny, we want to be extremely hard. They are almost ready. And as you can see, at this point, the mixture look like what, my friend Lakis? Like a yellow mayonnaise. If the mixture looks like a yellow mayonnaise, then it's ready. So, I will take off the heat straight away. And as you can see, the mixer is like that now. Now, gradually and very slow, this is the most important part of making a Hollandaise sauce, I will add my butter. I will start by dropping drops inside of butter because the most important part is here, the first butter that I will add into my egg yolks. If they 1/3 of the amount of butter added very slow, then probably you will succeed, okay? And as you can see, it becomes thicker and thicker, my mixer, but don't worry, if it's very thin to the very end, we will add a little bit of water to thinner up our mixer, okay? Now, as you can see, I can add faster my butter, because if the 1/3 of the butter is absorbed, then probably it will never split. Now, I'm almost done, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and voila. This, my friends, called Hollandaise sauce. Now, as you can see, it's very thick. What are we doing when it's very thick? Huh? Water. I will bring some water and gradually I will add a little bit because only a few drops of water will thinner up my Hollandaise sauce. See that? Huh? And if I add a little bit more water, just a few drops, then it will give the perfect consistency. Now, number 1. I never heat up my Hollandaise sauce. I cannot put my Hollandaise sauce on heat and heat it up. So always we keep the Hollandaise sauce at room temperature in a bowl covered with a plastic wrap. Number 2, we cannot put the Hollandaise sauce where? In the fridge and heat it up again. If the Hollandaise sauce is ready, we have to consume it up to 2 to 3 hours, okay? Now, my Hollandaise sauce is ready. I have to taste a little bit my seasoning and acidity. You see what's happening? It's quite sweet, it's quite acid, but probably I will add a little bit vinegar, just a few drops here. And of course, I need some seasoning, salt. And if I add pepper now, I will see the black spots of the pepper at the very end. And this is something we don't want. So, if you want to add pepper, you have to add white pepper to the recipe, okay? Now, whisk again. Try again to see what's happening here. Perfecto. Everybody loves Hollandaise sauce. I love Hollandaise sauce too. It's easy to make. It's quite hard the first time, but if you make it more than once, then you will become professional. Now, I will transfer my Hollandaise sauce into a bowl. You know better that if you go to a restaurant and you have the real stuff, it's not something easy. It's not something cheap. It's very expensive because we're using butter and egg yolks. So it has to be 100% very pure with quality, okay? If Hollandaise sauce is just powder with some oil and water, it's not tasty. The real stuff, it's something unique. Now, my Hollandaise sauce is ready. I will put on the side and let's prepare the eggs. Now, to make poached eggs, I know a good recipe that works for everybody. Now, I have here what like is vinegar. I will put some vinegar in some ramekins here, few drops, and some vinegar into my pot with the boiling water, okay? Now, I will take some eggs. And I will crack the eggs into the vinegar. Why, my friend, like this? Exactly, vinegar is acid, so actually the vinegar starts to cook the eggs from the ramekins and giving them a sort of crust. If we start cooking the eggs inside here, when we transfer into the water, they will take the perfect shape. You got it? Now, one more here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want to leave them like this for about 30 to 40 seconds to start working the vinegar. Now, I will take a spatula and I will start to make water tornado into the water. The tornado, I don't want to be very fast. I don't want to be very slow. The tornado will shape the eggs while we put them inside the water. Now, again, a little bit of tornado and straight away we transfer the eggs inside here. As you can see what's happening into the water and into the eggs? The tornado works perfectly to the eggs, and actually you don't have to shape them with a spoon because the water is shaping the eggs inside the water, okay? Now, we have to be patient for about 1 to 2 minutes until the eggs are ready. I'm saying 1 to 2 minutes because first of all, the water we don't want to boiling inside the pot because if it's boiling, it will destroy the eggs. And second, it depends from the heat of the water. Probably the eggs need about 1 to 2 minutes. So when the yolk is still runny and the egg white is stiff, then the eggs are ready. Now we have to be patient and careful with the spider spatula and make sure that the eggs are perfectly cooked. My eggs are almost ready. Can you see that? If you see any egg white accessing into the water, take it out. Try to perfectly shape the eggs. And I want some kitchen towel here because I want to drain the eggs. I don't want the water. The water is quite acid with so much vinegar in, so we don't want to transfer it into a plate. Now, as you can see, first two are ready. The other one is ready too. You can see we have some excess egg white, but don't worry because the eggs are perfectly cooked. Can you see that? Runny yolk and set egg white. Now, it's time to prepare a nice dish. God, sexy and very, royal. I need some green because we want a complete meal, a complete brunch. So we need some spinach, we need some tomatoes. Perfect. This is lovely. I will transfer it for some seasoning. Salt, pepper, and of course, what else like is? Extra virgin. Just extra virgin. And now, I know that probably used of enjoying eggs Benedict on English muffins, but if you don't have, you can use some burger buns. Nobody will notice that you make this treat. Of course, on the top of the bread, what we want, my friend, like is ham. Good quality ham. Here, as you can see, I made a small bed for my poached eggs. Look at this. And the second one. Don't forget to season very well your eggs with some salt and some pepper. And it's time for the star of this show, which is Hollandaise sauce. If your Hollandaise sauce is quite thick, what you can do, add some water, few drops to thin up the Hollandaise sauce and actually to make it exactly how it should be. Look at this. This is a small hug of love because Hollandaise sauce actually covered perfectly the egg and gave you this perfectly filling and consistency. As you can see, this is portion for two. If you want to make something extraordinary at breakfast, at the morning, for brunch, this is what you have to do. Now, a little bit more pepper to the top, and I have to show you how the eggs are looks from the inside. It's time to kill the egg. Look at this. And look at this too. This is exactly how perfection look. This is stunning, amazing. I proved you that in 10 minutes we can have the best brunch ever. It's full of quality. As you can see, some green, some ham, some bread, the eggs, the Hollandaise sauce. It's something that nobody can resist. And if you like this video, you have to make comments underneath this video and share it with your friends. And prepare the recipe, send me some photos, follow on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Viber and TikTok. Please don't forget to push that lovely notification button at the top of my YouTube page. And don't forget to visit my website, akispetretzikis.com. #1 website in Greece and one day #1 all over the world. See you next time, guys. And now it's time for me to enjoy my egg Benedict. It is lovely.